Welcome everybody. Hi, my name's Scott Hebbard from Sparx Systems, and our webinar today is entitled Prolaborate, Engage and Inform Everyone. I'm joined today by Prolaborate evangelist Nizam Mohammed, who will present an overview of Sparx Systems Prolaborate, the latest addition to the Sparx Systems suite of tools. Throughout the session, I'll be hosting and I'll be taking any questions throughout the webinar. Much of the audience will be familiar with the Sparx Systems primary product, Enterprise Architect, which is the premier desktop tool for modelers, designers, publishers, team leaders, architects, and software developers. It's a proven and tested modeling and design tool that bridges the gap between business and IT, between systems and architecture, and between different enterprise silos. Typically, Enterprise Architect is used on desktop machines, where models are built and designed by experts. But what about the people that need to consume or view that information? How can we help other stakeholders make the most of these corporate models? The Pro Cloud Server opens your entire enterprise to your modeling efforts, enabling stakeholders to have secure access for discussion and review. WebEA, hosted on the Pro Cloud Server, complements Enterprise Architect by providing a real-time view of your project content anywhere, anytime. The Pro Cloud Server provides a rich set of APIs and services that supports easy consumption of Enterprise Architect models via mobile phones, handheld devices, and web-enabled technologies. The Pro Cloud Server has been expanded to include data integration with many services such as Jira, ServiceNow, and SharePoint, to name but a few. It has been optimized for use over geographically distributed networks and removes the need for data drivers on desktop clients. So that brings us to what we're looking at today, which is Prolaborate. Prolaborate is the next step in delivering models and designs to the broader community by enabling high-level executives and stakeholders to see their personal and curated view of the model in a way they feel comfortable with. Prolaborate can engage and inform everyone in your organization. Prolaborate is a tailored set of views that can reduce complexity, focus attention, and increase the accessibility of model information for non-modelers and others who are more concerned with consuming the model rather than directly editing it, although this can also occur. Prolaborate also provides a social platform outside the model that supports talking about the model from different viewpoint to those actively engaged within the model. Prolaborate also provides dashboards, impact analysis, and other outside of the model features that derive information from the model, providing unique windows into the model for a custom audience, be that a chief executive officer, chief information officer, important stakeholder, customer, or client. The Sparx Systems tool suite delivers world-class modeling and design solutions to business, industry, and companies all around the world, helping customers to model, share, and engage. Prolaborate is the newest product added to the Pro Cloud Server family, and it all sits under Sparx Systems. So Sparx Systems' recent acquisition of Prolaborate brings the benefits of modeling and design-based solutions to a wider audience. So before we continue, just a few general housekeeping notes. Please note that audio is muted for all participants. You will be able to type questions to the host, and if we can't answer questions live, we'll follow up offline. I would now like to hand over to Nizam Mohammed, our Prolaborate evangelist, to showcase Sparx Systems Prolaborate, helping our audience to engage and inform everyone. So thank you, Nizam, and look forward to hearing from you.
Yeah. Thank you, Scott. Hello, everyone. This is Nizam. We'll be looking at Prolaborate. the sharing and collaboration software for enterprise architect that lets you take your Sparx Systems enterprise architect models and share it to the wider teams. Prolaborate is the newest addition to the Sparx Systems suite of products, which offers intuitive architecture dashboards, impact analysis capabilities, social collaboration features, and seamless personalization options. EA, in combination with Prolaborate, lets you create digital architecture platform by leveraging the model data to build dashboards and graphs. It allows faster design to execution by sharing curated business knowledge to stakeholders. Drive key decisions by slicing and dicing model with advanced impact analysis and what-if analysis capabilities. We'll be looking at 5 key aspects of the new solution that makes Prolaborate and Enterprise Architect combination an inevitable toolkit for architects. We invest strenuous efforts to develop and maintain an enterprise architecture landscape. The real purpose of architecture is to provide the right insights to the team to drive key decisions. However, there is an acute disconnect between architects and the end users. The trade-off between technical completeness and usability is one of the major challenges that is difficult to address. We'll be looking at how Prolaborate and EA could help us mitigate some of these key pain points. We'll be starting with the personalized, curated dashboard that lets everyone, including the senior management and the rest of the team, to have a view of the underlying model to take key decisions. The Prolaborate's dashboards provides an incredible way to simplify and curate model information in an easily comprehensible way. The dashboards allows information to be sliced and diced to provide a real-time view of the model information. Let me start simple by showing a personalized dashboard that can be presented as a starting point for model consumers. Prolaborate allows users to personalize their portal by picking and choosing the parts of the model that they are interested in. It could be diagrams, recent feeds, list of artifacts, or real-time charts, which lets them access the right information by just clicking and navigating. Prolaborate also allows users to view the most relevant diagrams from the underlying model by offering a simple clickable thumbnails that on a single click helps them to go to the right diagram and the live and the most current version of it and refer to the information that they'll be interested in. You can also notice that the users get to see a simplified form of the artifact, and this is also personalizable and targeted towards a specific audience. Now let's look at some of the specialized ways of curating the model information to build graphs. And let's take a look at the application management dashboard that taps into the application catalog that is documented in the enterprise architect model and gives real-time charts based on various parameters such as application health, lifecycle, security classification, application owners, vendor, etc. The business analysis dashboard, on the other hand, also taps into the same model, but it gives a view that is specific to business analysts, product owners, or agile teams to quickly refer to the user stories and requirements of a particular sprint. These intuitive charts provide insights about the project deliverable. Let's get even further with some sophisticated views as shown in the enterprise architecture dashboard. This shows how users could have a view of the architecture landscape and also drill down and analyze it. This provides valuable insights to the senior management and to the rest of the team to stay abreast of the organization's initiatives, capabilities, or services. These dashboards allows users to click and interact with the views to find the right information. The next topic we'll delve into is the real-time reports and graphs driven by model data that we saw in the previous section. These graphs are quite useful when you want to engage the stakeholders and let them do their what-if analysis or impact analysis using the data. These real-time reports could be interactive lists or graphs or even impact analysis views or click-through heat maps that we'll see quickly in this next section. This view shows some of the real-time graphs, and these graphs are interactive and allows you to drill down in any segment to understand the underlying data. Let me start by playing with one of these graphs, which shows the applications by vendors. You can control the level of details shown or click on one of these bars to navigate to the list of applications matching that specific criteria. You can click on this curated list and view its details as well. And as you can notice, even this form is a simplified form that offers the right information for the specific user who is looking into it. One of the most useful visualizations for the senior execs is the heat map. This helps users navigate through the cells to understand, for example, clicking in one of the program to understand the strategic and tactical applications impacted, and clicking further to understand the business capabilities impacted, and further drilling down to understand the application functions. We can create these kind of graphs based on any model data and connectors. Similar analysis can also be done using these multi-level pie charts, which gives a very good handle for users to pick a parameter around which they would like to see the view. We'll look at another important view that is offered by Prolaborate, which are these dynamic charts that are driven by the actual underlying EA model information. So the connectors and elements from EA are transposed into a dynamic chart like this. This graph shows all the way from a business actor to work packages to applications to business processes, and then further down to even the use cases and requirements around it. But not in the conventional UML-ish notation, but in a more contemporary way so the non-EA users can engage and analyze it. The users can apply their own colors or even apply the icons on top of it to make this view most relevant to themselves. The users can also share these views to the rest of the team to get their feedback or comments on this. So such a raft of advanced visualizations on top of your EA model data greatly changes the utility or the utilization of the model information that we spend strenuous efforts to model in. The next topic, we'll see how this contemporary Prolaborate platform fosters seamless collaboration. It can enable smarter real-time collaboration on live EA contents rather than sharing them on emails or documents. A simpler platform like this, where everyone can be invited to discuss and share, redefines the effectiveness of using a modeling platform. The Prolaborate Feeds view is a convenient starting point which acts like the social media wall, allowing users to stay abreast of what's being discussed or what's in focus. They can even see who's tagged in each of these discussions or what other EA artifacts are referenced. These discussions are sophisticated and allows users to click and navigate to the respective diagram or artifacts by just clicking on one of these tagged items. The user gets to see the live diagram underneath, and that's also clickable, and they could see their details as we saw in the previous sections. The user can also initiate a discussion at any time by just clicking on Add a new discussion. And these discussions, as mentioned, will allow them to not just reference the current artifact, but it could also let them tag other users or reference other EA diagrams or artifacts which may add context to this particular discussion. Every collaborator is notified via emails in their Outlook or mobile devices and are also informed with in-app notifications and real-time pop-up messages for every discussion and discussion responses. The users can navigate to these discussions to understand what is being discussed or who added it, and they can respond to it by just pressing respond or reply, and the rest of the stakeholders are notified with the similar emails or in-app notifications. They could either post another response or agree to a previous response by just clicking a like. For someone who has missed these in-app or real-time notifications, the reminders in the portal will also show the discussions or the collaboration happening around. And they could use this as a way to navigate to those discussions and have a look at them at their own convenience. Prolaborate also allows other collaborators to be invited anytime to collaborate on a diagram by just specifying their email. And they'll be notified with an email and a link to access the diagram directly. And you can also share the diagram that you're viewing as a simple link. And the link could be a private link where the user required to sign in, or it could be a public link where anyone with the link can view the diagram as an anonymous user. So what we saw was the incredible tools that's built in Prolaborate that redefines collaboration on top of EA models. We'll now see how Prolaborate enables customizable workflows to conduct model reviews. Reviews are one of the critical features expected in any teams to make sure everyone's inputs are gathered and consolidated at the right time. Prolaborate enables this with great level of transparency and also the collaboration tools to improve engagement. The conventional reviews involves publishing the EA diagrams in email or Word documents, emailing out to stakeholders, gathering their feedback either via email replies or in a consolidated Excel, and then making the changes to the model, and then again publishing and repeating the whole cycle. However, this has always been complicated and it's cumbersome to state the least. Prolaborate redefines reviews by enabling structured, gated reviews to be created on live EA diagrams. The reviewers are encouraged to participate by email notifications or reminders. As a reviewer logs into his portal, he gets to see a reminder with all the active reviews that he or she is expected to participate in. And they could navigate to the respective reviews by just clicking on these reminders, which will take them to the dashboard specific to this review and shows them all the items that needs their attention or approval. They could just click on these list of items to look at the details, and if they are happy about it, they could just go and say, I'm okay. Or if they think there are some changes that needs to be done for that particular item, they could just add a comment. And it's similar to the collaboration, a normal discussion. However, this comment is tagged against this review, so it provides a consolidated view to the review author and the other reviewers to understand what's happening and what's the feedback that's been recorded against this particular review. As you can see, the review author gets to see all the discussions that the reviewers are making. He could also understand the progress of each of these reviewers. And as he looks at one of the comments from one of the reviewers, he also gets notified by comments from other reviewers. And as he goes back to his dashboard, he will get to see the updated comments and updated status of the review. And these dashboards are review specific and it's again customizable. So everything in Prolaborate is customizable and personalizable. The reviewers also get to see the actionable dashboards to quickly view and provide their consent. They also see what their peers are up to and also all the discussions that are relevant to them. This allows them to easily navigate and complete their reviews. Such a transparent review system where every user gets to see the live evolving model contents and also see the views of fellow team members greatly reduces noise and unnecessary round-trip times. Finally, we'll look at how the Prolaborate enables true digitalization by closely integrating with the digital knowledge management utilities such as Confluence and SharePoint. These knowledge management portals are seen as an indispensable part of the digital organizations, and it's not very uncommon for users to copy their EA diagrams and paste them in these Confluence pages. They might have to even retype all the model information in those pages to publish the page. This is counterproductive and in a lot of ways defeats the purpose of digital documents. Prolaborate allows users to seamlessly integrate their EA model contents into live pages, thereby totally avoiding the need for copying and pasting contents. The Confluence integration shows that the contents are fetched from the EA models every time. And this Confluence macro allows users to pick and choose a diagram or a package or an element from the linked EA repository to quickly create a view of it or a report of it in Confluence. And as you can notice, this provides a real-time view and the users can apply filters or criteria to pick and choose the items that they are interested in. The diagrams and diagram contents are also dynamically updated in these pages, and the user can select a diagram item and click to be taken to the Prolaborate page, which gives more details about that particular item. Alternatively, you can use the live embedding utility of Prolaborate that allows clickable diagrams to be embedded in any digital portals. So in this presentation, we explored some key aspects of Sparx Systems' new offering, the Prolaborate, which addresses some of the key pain points in obtaining a wider buy-in for model information and enabling a truly social enterprise architecture platform. We encourage you to get started now. And if you are already a Pro Cloud Server or a Pro Cloud Server Express user, you can get started with your complimentary 10 licenses by just dropping us an email. Or if you are interested to have a hands-on experience on this, please let us know. We can show you a personalized demo, or we could set up a proof of concept for you so that you could tie it to your EA models and see how Prolaborate could redefine your modeling experience. With this, I will hand it back to Scott to continue with the questions and the rest of the presentation.
Thanks, Nizam. That was great. We've got a lot of questions. I'm just going to share my screen briefly. So you can see on screen we have the Sparx Systems website. So the first thing, there are a few people asking some questions about can they review this presentation again. It's under resources and the webinar library. We will publish this webinar along with our extensive webinar library, and we'll try to do that as soon as possible, sometime next week, so that you'll be able to review this content again. Once again, if you go to sparxsystems.com, under products, you can simply select Prolaborate and it will take you to this page, which will give you an idea of pricing and a quick overview. So there's a few people that have asked, so Colin and Gareth and a few other people have asked, do you need the Pro Cloud server in order to use Prolaborate? So I was wondering if you could answer that for us, please, Nizam.
Sure. Yes, Pro Cloud Server provides the APIs that are used by Prolaborate to leverage the EA model contents. So the way we see is we model it in EA and we use the Pro Cloud Server internally to get the APIs and expose it in the Prolaborate platform. And if you are already a Pro Cloud Server user or a Pro Cloud Server Express user, you can get started with 10 license of Prolaborate right away, and then you can scale it up from there. And Prolaborate's mix includes the Pro Cloud Server pricing as well. So you get more details if you visit our website.
So we had another question from Gareth, which follows up on some of your comments about the APIs. It says, is Prolaborate web-based, and how does it overlap with WebEA?
Okay, great question. The way Sparx Systems sees, yes, it is web-based, and you can have it either, hosted either on-premise, or you could also avail a completely cloud-based Prolaborate. The way Sparx Systems sees WebEA and Prolaborate is the WebEA is for modelers who wants to see the full set of information that they see in a thick client from a web browser. Prolaborate is for the rest of the team who are the non-EA modelers who want to consume the EA model information, but they do not have the time or the patience to go through the learning curve to understand the entire model. They just want to have specific views of the model, and that's where Prolaborate comes into picture.
Thanks, Nizam. I've got a question from Joe, and he says, hi, I wonder, are the real-time report graph filters, etc., designed by a wizard or directly coded using SQL or JavaScript?
So it's a great question. It's a wizard, but it mostly, to get something like a heat map, it's mostly SQL queries using that wizard. So the reports that I showed, the lists are driven by just selecting a package content and say which information you want to see. But some of the advanced graphs are, at the moment, query-based. However, we're looking at even simplifying that in the future versions.
Thanks, Nizam. Gillian said, are the initial 10 licenses of Prolaborate free? So I was wondering if you could elaborate on that, please, Nizam.
Yes. So if you're using Pro Cloud Server Express or a Pro Cloud Server already, or if you have active EA licenses, you could be entitled to a Pro Cloud Server Express, and that enables 10 licenses of Prolaborate to be availed as a complimentary basis as well. And this is seen from Sparx Systems as more something to build a proof of concept or to evaluate it to see the effectiveness of using such a solution into your in your teams.
Thanks, and I'll do one final question before I wrap up. So Ole says, is it possible to alter the value of attributes for a model entry through Prolaborate? So I was wondering if you could talk about some of the editing capabilities and some of the security and restrictions on who can see what parts of the model.
Absolutely. That was a great question. So we have a follow-up webinar where we'll be showing you these things in more detail. But in summary, yes, you can edit attributes and tag values and name and description from Prolaborate. What you can't do is to edit diagrams through Prolaborate. That's the only restriction. But just to add to it, you can also control which attributes can be updated by the end users. So Prolaborate's forms offers great granularity on controlling which attribute can be edited. So you can say, I want my end user to update my notes, but he won't be able to update the name. Or you can say, I want him to update the cost tag value, but I don't want him to update the author or any other attribute. So it's very granular, and it allows you to get the right information from the right teams.
Excellent. Thanks very much. So I'll just wrap up the session now. As always, the webinar and the Q&A from today's session and any questions that we didn't get to will be published on sparxsystems.com/webinars, and we'll aim to get that out next week. As Nizam just mentioned, there will be a hands-on technical overview of Prolaborate coming up, where we'll do a 1 hour long deep dive into Prolaborate and how you configure and how you set up some of the attributes. Today's session was really just to give an introduction and show you some of the features and to talk about some of the relationships between Pro Cloud Server, Enterprise Architect and Prolaborate, and how the suite of tools all work together to engage and inform everyone in the organization. We're going to have a range of new webinars in 2019, and I think we'll be aiming for late January for that follow-up technical overview of Prolaborate. Once again, if you want questions about prices, demo, or sales information, you can email prolaborate@sparxsystems.com. And if you have feedback on the webinars or future topics you might like to see, you can always email webinar@sparxsystems.com. So on behalf of Nizam and myself, I'd like to thank you all very much for your attendance, and it's been great to showcase this new product, and I look forward to hearing from you again in the new year. So anything you'd like to add, Nizam?
No, thank you very much, everyone, for your time, and I hope this session was relevant. For any further information, as Scott mentioned, please feel free to write to us, and we'll be able to assist you individually.
Thank you very much.